So Planet of the Apes Last Frontier is an interactive base game from the Imaginati Studios, and was released initially in 2017 on PS4 and was released on Xbox and Windows a year after that. The game actually takes place in between the recent films Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War for the Planet of the Apes. And I don't think that's much of a spoiler because, there's not a ton of overlap between those films and this game. The characters do mention that they were a part of Caesar's tribe at one point, but that's about it. And it's also not only centered around the apes. Half of the game is focused on them and the tribe, but the other half is centered around a group of humans who are finding themselves in this very tough spot with the apes. And you sort of just go back and forth to see the different perspectives of this storyline that develops between them. And I'll get it out of the way right now. I really didn't like this game too much. And it's a strange thing too, because I bought this game like maybe over a year ago at least, and for some reason was saving it because I did think I was going to enjoy this one a lot, and for the simple reason of how much I love the recent Apes trilogy. I figured that this idea of this like interactive movie but done in the world of Planet of the Apes could be really interesting. And based on what I had seen about it, I could never really tell exactly what it was going to play like and what it was going to look like, aside from the fact that of course it would revolve around making choices and all that stuff, but I didn't know if there would be more to it than that. And there was, but not really that much. For the most part, this is done in the same style of the typical interactive movie that you get, where you just sit back and watch, and now and again, you get your option of what you want the characters to say or what you want them to do. And to be fair, for this game in particular, there were actually a ton of different choices to make in this one. Some of them did seem pretty inconsequential, but it was nice to have quite a bit of input into the story consistently throughout it. There was also an added element of the actions, where it was basically quick time actions, and they would of course give you that very limited time to choose if you wanted to like shoot somebody or try to escape, and you could also just choose to let the time run out and do nothing. And I feel like I'm kind of mentioning a lot of really like obvious parts of the game so far that aren't super interesting and you can come to expect with it, but I am a little bit at a loss on what to say about it. I just really found a lot of this to be pretty boring. The ape storyline was fine, and it's exactly what you would expect. You follow this ape Bryn, who has a really aggressive brother who wants to just kill all of the humans and take their food, and it really ends up resembling the Caesar and Koba storyline almost to a T. And that was kind of the main problem with it, because most of the time I was playing it, I just wanted to turn the game off and go watch the movies instead. And then unfortunately with the human storyline, it was also just as generic. There's a group of people who want to kill the apes and remove them as a threat to them, and it leads to problems and disagreements with the people leading the town. And the characters themselves were all just generally uninteresting, and I didn't really care for any of them too much. And also, I was thinking about mentioning this first, but I didn't because I'm not entirely sure even now if that was a problem on my end or not. I'm pretty sure it wasn't because I booted up this game a few different times, but this game was flooded with technical problems for me. It started almost immediately when I kept hearing this cracked sound in the audio right in the prologue, and it did go away eventually, but that wasn't a good sign. And of course, it just ended up leading to bigger problems like the transitions between shots being super choppy, and in general, the entire thing just felt like it was unfinished. And that was a real shame because although I don't think that it would have saved the game at all, it at least would have made it a lot more palatable. And instead it just added on to this whole sour feeling I had with it from the beginning to the end of it. The whole thing just felt like such a drag, and it sucks because I was looking forward to this one quite a bit. And like I said, this game is a few years old now, so I don't think there's much of a clamoring for this game anymore anyway. And I don't know if it was ever super hyped when it was even first coming out either, but I don't know that for sure. What I do know is I wouldn't recommend this one. It's very dull, it's not awful. You can tell that they wanted this to have that same heart that are in the Apes movies, and you can see the attempt that they made here, but it's just always really messy and doesn't feel like it's worth the time at the end of it. And even if you are a big Planet of the Apes fan, I don't think you're gonna get much out of this, or not as much as you would hope for, and it's a real shame.
Tonight, and for many nights, we shall feast!
So yeah, that's all for this one. It's definitely disappointing that this one wasn't better because I had saved this one for quite a while. I'm not really sure why, but I did think I was going to really enjoy it, and unfortunately they can't all be winners. If anything though, what this did give me was the urge to go watch the trilogy again, and I haven't watched like all of them together in a while, so I'll probably go and do that after this. So thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it, and I genuinely do hope that you can enjoy this game, or if you've already played it, did enjoy the game more than I did, you could have a completely different take on it, and that would be awesome. And if you did, I would love to talk to you about it and see where our differences lie. But yeah, aside from that, I hope you all have a great day. I hope to see you in the next one, and until then, take care.